bit deeper and explain to me, you know, explain to me the narcissist and why is that everybody is a narcissist these days?
I think so. I pulled up the requirements. Let me get them. And I think that when people hear the requirements and they feel like, oh, I know someone who that pertains to, I know someone who that is. So according to the DSM, right, one of the criteria is you have to have five of the following nine. So when I read these nine, you'll hear how common some of the things are.
Okay.
And some people, when I say it, you may be like, oh, that was so and so. That's so and so. That's so and so. And you'll understand how it's so easy to be overused.
Okay.
So a narcissist has a grandiose sense of self-importance. That means they think highly of themselves than they really are.
Okay. So let's stop right
A
there.
lot of people on social media.
We're gonna look at these. We got time. Okay, grandiose. I think highly of myself.
Yeah.
So when I hear something like that, I think that so it's the opposite. And I know where you're gonna go. I know what you're gonna say, but just for the sake of conversation,
Yeah.
So in order to be not to be a narcissist, I should think lowly of myself.
Not necessarily lowly. So like, a narcissist would think that they may think grandiose of themselves in a way that's not necessarily true.
Okay,
You know,
that
they
makes a difference.
yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
may feel like, just say if we're both salesmen, right? I may feel like I am the best. I can only be the best. No one can be better than me. Like if you want the best, you gotta hire me. And to some extent, you gotta think like that in some ways. So that's what I'm saying. It's really hard when people start to overuse these words based off of one criteria.
I started laughing because I came from a retail background, retail manager. Only had one job my whole life. Only filled out one application my whole life, and it was in sales. And I promise you, man, those were the people that I was looking for. Those ones who had that type of cockiness. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because I had it myself. I felt like I was when it came to sales. It was like no one
Yeah.
can touch me. So
You
I
have,
was a
you have to
narcissist.
think that way, especially as entrepreneurs or, to get through some hard jobs to make money and commission based. You got to think that way. That's why you can't diagnose somebody off of one thing.
That's right. That's right. So number two. What's
Hey,
number
Bobby,
two?
you here?
Number
Can
two
you
is
hear me?
Do the overuse of the words like toxic relationship, trauma bond, all these man, the master word narcissist. Do that hinder the professionals? Because everybody. I mean, really and truly, today everybody's a narcissist.
Yep.
If you let social media tell you so.
Yes. So I think it does hinder. And the other word I was thinking of was a while back, girls. Mainly I saw girls. I don't know if it was girls and guys. They thought it was cute to be labeled as, and that other people labeled them as bipolar. That was the word that was, floating around. I got mood swings, I'm bipolar. And so, yes, it does hinder people because when people, another way it hinders treatment sometimes is people will come in and they will say, hey, I feel like I'm a narcissist.
Okay.
And so the way a diagnosis works is there is this huge book that we have, right? It's like our little Bible, for lack of a better word. It's the DSM. In order to get a diagnosis, you have to meet like 5 or 6, just say for narcissists, I think it's 5 out of 9 criteria.
Okay.
So people will just look up, am I a narcissist, or is my mom a narcissist, or something like that, and they may see the criteria, right? They may see 2 things or 3 things, and then all of a sudden their mom is a narcissist. or they're a narcissist. And so if you yourself are struggling with, I feel like something is wrong with me, but I don't know what, or I'm having a hard time in my relationships or my friendships, and you Google this or someone blurts out you're a narcissist, that's a heavy burden on you. Because now as your therapist, I have to then, it's like court, because now I got to prove to you that you're not this.
Right. That power of two is such a strong thing. Because you got to think about, it's the power of that husband and that wife when they team up properly. And even with that, that husband and that wife team up separately with God. Oh, Jesus.
Come on.
And when they do that, oh my goodness, there is no way to fail. Things can get hard, but they can't fail.
They can't fail.
They cannot fail.
Listen, people. All right, now I'm gonna leave that alone because.
So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead into my Proverbs 31 wife. Okay.
There it is. All right.
So when I think about that, at the beginning of that whole Proverbs 31, it was the lessons to a king on how to be a king. Then it goes into what to look for a wife.
My Lord.
So, you have people when they think about relationships, a lot of females look for that man that's going to take care of them. But a Proverbs 31 wife, that baby, she stands on her own. She stands on her own. This, if you read into it, she's creating, she's enlarging. She's there for her husband, but on her own. He's running the kingdom. She's managing the home. She's managed, but she's enlarging it because she's taking care of her handmaids. She's raising the kids. She's creating material to make her own clothes. Her hand is at the plow. It ain't idle.
My Lord. Wait a minute. Man, see, first of all, you done just jumped into this thing and I wasn't ready because I'm sitting up here. You done just blew. Man, I'm about to shout already because I knew I should have. Yeah.
It is very unlikely that a man is going to come home and say, "Let me give you the keys to the kingdom, baby."
Well, see, I didn't say that he came home and educated, but
that's what he would have to do. That's what he would have to do in order for her opinion to be applicable and be something that he can actually go back to the office or go back and say, "Okay, this is what you need to do." It would have to.
Well, no, it don't have to be because he could see. You're thinking along the lines that she had no value, and I'm thinking along. Well, okay, I'll just say this: the average man, and I'm not going all the way back to Frederick Douglass. I'm just saying the average married man is going to. To have, you really don't know that he would come and do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I've got an idea.
All right, all right, all right. What is up, everybody? Man, it's Sunday night, 7 o'clock, so you know what time it is. Man, let's get this party going. Man, I got a
I don't know if
great.
I can hear you, brother Eric, but I'm gonna try.
Okay, can you, I can hear you. We are live. Feel like I gotta. Let's see.
Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, can you hear me? Bobby. Bobby, can you hear me now? Hello,
Yeah, there we go. I can hear you now.
you got me? Okay.
Yeah,
All
I can hear you
right.
now, brother.
All right. Good, good, good. Hey man, man, we gonna get this party going, man. I'm really excited about tonight's show, man. You know, I for the past couple of man, really past couple of months, man, we have been really, exploring, getting deep into the psyche of these relationships, and on the Power Podcast, that's one of the things, that we do. Our whole purpose is to explore, man, this whole phenomenon, called a relationship, and especially as it deals with the men and women. And tonight we're going to be doing it a little bit different. But before I get into that, man, I want you to introduce yourself. But before you do that, let me introduce myself because I had some technical problems, and so I definitely want to introduce myself for all of you guys that are new to the Power Podcast. My name is Eric Kirk, and I'm the author of The Power of Two. And tonight, man, I am not riding solo, man. Tonight I got a special guest, good friend of mine. I mean, just an all around guy. I'm not gonna attempt to introduce him because I know I'm not gonna do it well. But I will give him an opportunity to introduce himself, man. But you guys, welcome to the Power Podcast, the great Mr. Bobby Harris.
Man, what's going on, everybody? For those who don't know me, my name is Bobby Harris. I'm originally from Mississippi. I now reside in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm a international barber and hairstylist, product line owner, tool line owner, you know, entrepreneur. It's a little bit of all around the board. I don't want to take up too much time explaining all these types of things, but tonight, man, I'm looking forward to this dialogue with my good brother Eric.
Awesome, man. Hey, man, I definitely appreciate you. Hey, so let's do this, man, because I got a video clip, man. Tonight we're gonna be talking about the things that women, get wrong about us, and I say, man, that is actually killing the relationship. So I really want to have just I mean, just two guys talking, but I want I want everybody to listen in. I want the women to listen in. I want the guys to chime. I want it to be a thing, man, where what, at the end of the day, what's gonna happen is we're gonna become stronger. We're gonna become better. So what I don't want anyone to think that this is a bashing someone type of show. What I want you to think is that, man, if I can shed some light onto how I think, then and to where it'll make our women folks, our lady folks, better understand who we are and how we work. What do you think about that, Bobby? Am I in the right zone?
Yes, sir. It's all about edification at the end of the day, brother Eric. I've never been the type to just bash anyone or anything else like that, but I applaud you for actually giving men a platform to express how men actually think and what men actually want in relationships.
Man, I appreciate that. So I'm gonna jump into the clip, man, and then man, hopefully this thing play, but let's see what happens.
Doing wrong with men. Not admitting when you're wrong.
This is not to shame you guys, okay? There's a lot that men need to do to be better as well. But women, this video is for you, and let's be honest, you guys are not the best at this. We would love it if you would just admit you're wrong sometimes. Number 2, acting like you are tougher than you are. Obviously, this doesn't apply to all women. Number 3 is to not use sex as a reward or a threat. Don't be like, oh, if you do this, you're not getting a cat for like a month. Like, what? Am I a toddler? Am I being put in timeout? What is going on here?
That men do not communicate. Men communicate. Men communicate rather well, sometimes too well, sometimes too direct, that women refuse to believe that it's just as simple. But the reality is that most men don't play games. Most men are way more simple and direct than that. So when you go on a date with a guy and he doesn't call you within a couple of days after that, it's because he's worried about being, perceived as a stalker. So he's going to wait a little bit, but he's definitely going to call you by day 3. Or he's just not going to call you because he's just not that into you. It's really as simple as that.
I don't know who told y'all this. I don't know who lied to y'all. I don't know where y'all get this from. But y'all tend to think that dudes only like girls with fake lie. Give me a natural booty. If you naturally beautiful, I'm on you. The makeup and the weave and wigs. Bro. It's not a necessity. Like, you don't have to do it. Nah, get me started on the wigs. The wigs is, y'all not even playing fair. Like, I meet you on Thursday, you looking like and Gabrielle Union down together or whatever, you feel me, popping. Then we link up on Saturday, you got the whole Halle Berry going on. Like, how does that even work, bro? Like, what? Not cheating. Finally, I think the biggest lie I've been told, or the biggest thing y'all got wrong, like, we love clingy bitch. What? We love a clingy girlfriend. Be clingy. Be on me. I want you. I need you in my soul. Like, on top of me, all over me, all day, every day. Like, only time I heard a dude ever say he ain't like the clinginess is when he ain't like the girl, you feel me? So don't mistake that for this, you feel me? We love you. We might just not like you.
Man, listen, man, every time I hear this guy, I hear that part, man, about the clingy girls, and I'm like, man, I like a little bit of clingy, but I like my space too. But I definitely understand where he's going with it, man. Listen, I wanted to do this show, man, because I really do believe that women just get a lot of things wrong, about, how, they come with a perception, I'll call it, man, of what they, of how a man is. And, one of the things that I always found that was fascinating is that women have a, they're really quick to say what a man is until you ask them to explain, okay, what, well, explain to me what that real man is, give me that definition. And then, then you start hearing the cricket sounds because, no one can really articulate, or at least I hadn't had anybody who can articulate what a real man is. They just know I know when I'm not getting what I want. I know, but it's got to be better than that. So, man, let's get into, man, some of the things, and I wrote some things down, but if you got some things, we're going to talk. There's nothing out the table, man. So, you just jump in, man, and we're going to just have this conversation, man. But one of the things that, I actually, I'm a part of a men's group, man. And so when I do these shows, I ask these questions. And so this is kind of a collaboration, of feedback from those guys. But one of the things, man, that I hear is that, women say, well, men are not emotional. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever heard that?
Man, I hear it, but that's like one of the biggest lies ever told.
Man, come on.
That's the biggest lie ever told. I'm just going to be real transparent when I say this. Okay. Men actually love harder than women. Anybody that's willing to protect, anybody that's willing to put their life on the line, protect, provide, spend their hard-earned money, their children, deal with all the consequences of being a man in modern day society. You can't tell me that man don't love you. Man, you can't tell me a man does not feel that. It's just that men have been raised to not do it. They just have not been. They just been it's a stigma, brother,
Yeah.
that men aren't supposed to cry, men aren't supposed to express themselves, men aren't supposed to do that. But a man actually loves harder than women, and once they experience that heartbreak, you create that dog that you're trying to get away from. It's like a
Right.
dog, brother. It's like
Come
a
on.
dog. Like when you raise a dog well, like my puppy Diamond.
Hmm.
Diamond will break the cage to try to get to me as soon as she sees me walk through the door.
Right.
Literally. So when a man does not feel that type of love or anything no more, this is how you get the things that you're getting. But that
Right.
man, it's just not the word affirmation. It's not the word reassurance. It's
Right.
actually the word affirmations.
Okay.
Men need the same thing that women need. They really do.
They
It's just
man,
they're not going to get it.
that and they're not getting it because some type of place somewhere women are convinced, and some at some point, and I'm assuming another woman convinced another woman that men don't need or don't, I mean, like we this subhuman species where we're not gonna cry, we don't have emotion, we don't have feelings, if we go through a breakup, we don't care, like like
That's
it's like,
it,
and we feeling it the same way you feeling it. So
yeah.
ladies,
And
listen, go ahead, Bob.
I'm just gonna tell you something. That's exactly why a man only has 2 to 3 times in his lifetime to fall in love. That's just proven fact.
Mm.
He only got it 2 to 3 times in his lifetime.
And then
It's
what
not gonna
happened
happen
after?
very often. After that, it's a done daughter because men are logical thinkers. Once they realize there's no benefit in anything, they're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
They're just not gonna do it. It creates that. But
They do the
ooh,
math, and now the math says if I do this, then this is gonna happen. And so they're saying, well, if I want to avoid this, then I need to, then I need to avoid
avoid
that.
it.
And it is real simple math. So ladies, so here's the thing. First of all, if you're on here, please do me a favor. There was actually something wrong with the system in Facebook where I wasn't able to share this out like I wanted to. So, Chase, take a second, make sure you that you share this out, and I definitely appreciate it. But Bobby, man, listen, you made some good points, and ladies, I really want you to understand. If you're welcome to chime in. I would love to have your comments. But here's the thing: you can also sit back with a pencil and paper and take notes, because these are the things that I believe is really killing relationships. I believe that, I mean, and this is not in the order, but we just did number one, and we're gonna go through some of these. Listen, I already know we're not gonna get through all of these, so but I ain't tripping on them. But we're gonna go to number two, man. Number two is and number two, there's no hierarchy in this. This is just how they came to me. So number two is sex is what matters most. Saturday,
Absolutely not.
man, come on.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I'm just going to be honest with you, and I'm trying to be as clean as possible, courtesy of the podcast. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of times it's bad. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's bad a lot of times. Like
Yeah.
most of the times it's bad. It's just as much mental for men as it is women. I'm just going to be
Yes.
honest with you. It's just as much mental as it is for men, because how can I put this in a clean way? Because if we really, really think about it, and our mind is mentally in it, it's what we call the quickie. It happens
Mhm.
like that with me.
Right.
It happens like that. This is a man being a man. Sex does
Mhm.
not matter to us. It really don't.
Right.
Now, you do have brothers out there that are hypersexual and love the idea that knowing that I can smash this woman.
Right.
But when you're dealing with a man that's actually a man that's in his purpose,
Right.
on his mission, and
Mhm.
trying to become the man that he's supposed to become. Because, ladies, I want you to understand something. A man gets better over time, and a man does not hit his peak until his late 30s, going on to his 40s.
Mhm.
That's when his peak really, really comes. That's when he really becomes the man that he's supposed to be, winning or failing. That's when
Right.
it hits.
Right.
So I'm really not. I'm really not enthusiastic. I'm not enthusiastic about sex. I'm not even a hypersexual. I'm
I
really
said,
not. If I'm
I,
anything,
tell you,
brother. If,
you hitting it right on the head, and I'm gonna tell you, um, when you find that man, and Bobby, you hit on a great point, man. Because we grow into phases. I believe a lot of time women was dealing with men in a certain phase in their life, and then now they want to assume that all men are like this. But in actuality, no, you just have been dealing with a man in a certain phase in his life, and maybe at that point, because he wasn't walking in his purpose, that's the only thing that he had, with sex.
correct.
But and I did a post earlier, about the phases, the three phases of life and the three phases of a relationship. And we talk about the love phase and the building phase, or the money phase, how some people say, and then the companionship phase. You got love, you got you got money, and then you got companionship. When you dealing with a man that's in a building phase or the money phase of his life, man, where he's trying to to accumulate wealth, and that is the bulk of his manhood, by the way. Okay.
The bulk.
He's not sex is not his priority. His
That's
priority,
10% of
if
his life.
man,
That's
if
10%
he's
of his life.
married, that's 10% of his life. Because the rest of that 90%, he's trying to provide for his family. He's looking at his legacy. He's saying that, man, if I'm gonna get this wealth, I'm gonna have to do it now. And Bobby, one of the things that I thought was very funny about this whole scenario, when a man is in that building phase, that's normally when a man would when the relationship ends. They file for divorce, and that thing happened. But I talk to these men, and they say, everything that I was doing was for my wife, but she divorced me.
Right.
And Bobby, that is so true, because because he's focusing on building. But what I want everybody to understand is that, but who do you think he's building for?
I'm gonna tell you something, brother Eric. I'm gonna touch on something. Women only meet 3 types of dudes in their lifetime. The daddy that spoiled them.
Okay.
The no good brother, and that anomaly, the man of their dreams.
Wow.
The man of their dreams is an anomaly. That unicorn, the man of their dreams. The man of their dreams is the anomaly. The daddy even spoiled them. The daddy showed them what a simp is. Every time she needs something, daddy reaches in the pocket and gives it to her.
Man, you can't help it, but I got you. I know it. But that's real.
But in the nothing dude, the bipolar opposite of what the daddy is.
Right.
That is the guy that they're going to have the baby by. 9 times out of 10. They're either going to have the baby by him or they're going to marry him. And after they finally get away from number 2, it's going to be even harder to find number 3. Wow. Because everybody's compared to number 2. If they're not compared to number 1.
2. Yep. I mean, it happens over and over and over again.
Over again.
Man, ladies, listen, make sure y'all share this out, because this is man, and I never looked at it that way. Man, that you're gonna meet 3 type of men. Your daddy that gave you everything, because I promise you, I'm a girl dad, and my girls call me, man. Listen, I get it, and then
it's rough, bro.
You're gonna meet Pookie,
Yep.
And then that figment of your imagination, but Bobby, that's the one that's really giving us problems, man. That figment of their imagination, because
she's not real.
Because he's not real. It's the
he's
thought of, and it's that's why a lot of men is caught up. They're being compared by something that do not exist.
It's nowhere near in existence. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Most men in their younger ages, and a good portion of them in their older ages, are very unstable. They're
Mm,
very, very unstable.
mm-hmm,
Financial literacy is an anomaly, especially in our culture.
mm.
You know, you tell us to buy insurance over some Jordans, boy, you done started World War Five. You know,
Hey, you know I know.
so so the ideology for me to avoid these types of problems is if
Hmm.
you're not willing to build with your man, you don't need to be with a man. Point blank,
Yeah.
period. If you're
See,
not willing to go ahead,
no,
bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
well, man, you got me hyped because see, you touched on why I wrote one of the reasons why I wrote The Power Too, because and there were some things in that book that I really didn't realize until after it was wrote, because I just was writing what God told me to do. But you just touched on it. What I want people to understand is that there is some power you have when you actually do life together, because even if that man is in his building stage, one of the things we talk about is listen, you don't separate yourself from the your husband's building phase. The best thing that you can do, and this is why the divorce happened, because the husband is building, but he's building for his wife and his kids, and the wife is feeling neglected. She's feeling unappreciated, and she's saying, it's all about you and your job, and which actually brings me to number three. This is another misconception, or one of the things that women get wrong about men. Is number three is a man is his job, and and and
No, he's not.
and and that's not true. Man, go ahead. Man, go on ahead, because that one get me, man. That one get me.
If again, it's gonna go back to this right here, the misconception of men. Men are natural hunters, providers, and workers. They're not their job, but they're defined by three things. Very
Mm,
simple. Who he is, what he is, and what he makes.
mm,
That's a man in general.
that's right.
If he is only going to give you pieces of him when he cannot do for you like he wants to do for you.
Yep.
You only getting a piece of a man. You're not even getting the whole man. You're
Right.
not even getting one, two, or three. You just got somebody that you basically got a roommate.
Right. Right.
As the old folks say, you shacking up. You you have to understand that a man's job is to build a kingdom.
Right.
But I'm going to put this out here.
Mm-hmm.
Most people wouldn't know what a man's building a kingdom is because the man is too busy living with them. Versus the that's
Because you
that's the
got you
reason
got
why
to tell the truth. You got to tell the truth.
I'm gonna tell the truth and the whole truth. Most men are living with you.
Right.
You're not living with the man. This,
Right.
I promise you, 80% of this, brother, we wouldn't even have to have this conversation tonight if they was living with the man or with the man that they bought. That
Mm, mm,
10
mm.
that 30% of the African American culture that are married are living in a house they built together.
Wow.
54% of African American men are not married. They do not have kids. They do not have any of these things. I am one
Right.
of the 54%.
Right.
The less than 20% are number two. Those are the ones that make up 80% of our birth.
Wow. Wow.
This is
Man,
on the
that's big.
CDC. You can Google this. This is on the CDC. This is on all of that. And it's amazing to me. So if he's not building something for you, what are you really in reality? This is where all this culture, this music, and all these other things that
Mm-hmm.
people are lying about. People are realistically lying about these things because this is a man has to build, he has to provide, and he is to a degree what he makes
Right.
because what he makes defines who he is.
Right. Man,
You don't hear
don't have one that is not living in his earning capabilities. He's not good. He's not good with himself.
that is
But
a that is a caged animal. That is a
yeah,
loose cannon waiting to
yeah,
be released.
yeah. I mean, now and listen, we said we was gonna be real. Now I understand that, Bible. I know you understand that that it's two sides to this thing, and what we want you to understand is that, yeah, you are getting it wrong. I can understand why you think the way you think. Because if I wanted to look at it on the woman's side, then if I say a man is not his job, then she'll turn around and say, well, why is it that whenever, whenever he is not working in his field or what and making the money he's supposed to make, then he's miserable. Then what is it? Then, prove to me that he's not his job, because he sure act like it is. What I want you to understand is that doesn't mean that everything that he's doing is because of the job. What I want you to understand is that everything he's doing is for you. And when he cannot provide for you, man, he's in a bad place. Because like Bobby said, man, those are the things that we are going to be defined on. But I am not my job. I'm not my job. I am your husband. And when I'm not able to provide for you, then that puts me in a bad place. You are taking it personal, thinking that I have a problem against you. No. And this is why, Bobby, I'm gonna just throw this in. This is why when you start asking the man, what is it that you want? And the man is saying, man, I want me a woman that can provide me peace. I want a woman that can, when I'm going
Preach,
through,
brother.
when I go
Preach,
through
brother.
times like this, and I call them cave moments. Though, listen, I need a woman that can stand outside the cave and wait for me and ready to encourage me once I come up out of there. Because I'm going into a cave. If I'm not getting the things that I need, if I'm not providing for you the way I know I should, man, I'm going to withdraw. But I'm not doing it because I have a problem with you. What I'm doing is when I go to my cave, what I'm doing is saying, listen, I need a strategy. I need a plan, because I got to get up out of this situation. And when I work it through my head, I'm going to come back out and I'm going to be ready to connect with you. But it is not you that I'm running from. Man, Bobby, do that make any sense, man?
That make any sense. And I'm just gonna add another part to this.
Come on.
When I ask any woman, and I'm gonna say hypothetically, I'm talking to my woman right now. If I'm gonna go to war, will you go to war with me?
Come on.
Will you go to war with me? Will you abandon everything you taught to build a life with me?
Wow.
Yeah, it's part of your commitment for sickness and health, through sickness and through health, for richer or for poor, for better or for worse. None of them vows say nothing about your happiness.
Man, come on.
Happiness wasn't even mentioned in the contract.
It was never. It's ironic that you hear a lot of women say, "Well, I'm just not happy," and happiness was never part of the deal.
It was never part of the deal.
It was never part of the deal.
Mind you, you said that you exchanged that vow in front of God.
In front of God, and that's a good point, because you thinking, okay, well, hey, I made a commitment to you. No, technically you made a commitment to God on behalf of me. So you're not just breaking the commitment to me, you're breaking the commitment to God, because that's who that vow was for. And only thing that you can say is that I'm not happy, and I'm like, man, I don't even know where that came in at. And I said for a joke, man, just think about all the reasons why women leave relationships, and what if we just put those into the marriage vows? And I wonder how many people would get married, when you hear stuff like, I'll marry you, but until I'm not happy anymore. I wonder who would sign that deal.
Nobody wants to sign a deal, because I'm gonna put another statistic out there.
Okay.
80% of women divorce their husband.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
80%, 80%, brother, of women divorce their husband because they're not happy. They're not getting the attention that they're not getting the attention that they want. See, the sad part about this little platforms that we have right here, right now, you have single women keeping these beautiful women single.
Yep.
You have single men who just the bipolar opposite of what we're talking about, brother. keeping
Mm-hmm.
men single.
Right.
So that's why I tell people, man, if you're gonna be in a relationship with that person.
That's
You
it.
got to get away from a lot of people.
You got
This
to.
relationship is one of them things, brother, to where you got to stay away from a lot of things that does not benefit. It's just like if you're not a weed smoker, what you hanging around the weed smoker for?
unless
You don't even
you,
know that,
yeah,
unless
unless you
you
want
want
to
to
end
try it.
up, unless you want to try it, or you might as well, just it's just a matter of time. You're gonna become a weed smoker.
Be his peace. Be his
Yeah,
peace. Stop
yeah,
running when it gets bad. Who's really the coward here? The man or the woman?
right,
Because if
right.
80% of y'all divorce us because you're not happy or things are not working out, who's really running?
Who's really running? And see, and Bobby, those are the conversations, man, that a lot of women they're not having with themselves. I got to the point, man, where I'm wondering, who's teaching women now? Now, listen, I know people gonna listen. I am pro family. Just for anybody that's new on this on my platform, anybody watching me or listening to me for the first time, I am pro family. But we got to have this conversation, okay? And the reality is, the more and I'm not just saying women. We as a culture of people are becoming weak, okay? And
Very.
yeah, there some areas where men need to step up? Sure. There's some areas where women need to step up at. But we gotta start with some honest conversation, bro. You see? And we was talking about commitment. I want to, we really rolled into it, man. I want to go down to another thing that women get wrong is saying that men doesn't like to commit. Now, here's my thing. Men, have you ever heard where women control sex and man controls marriage, or the relationship, or then you can hear a woman saying, well, I don't know what the relationship is. I don't know how it's defined because he hadn't said anything, and all of those things is duly noted. Okay. But what I want people to understand is that it's not that men have a problem committing. Okay. Men understand commitment on another level. Okay.
Right.
For whatever reason, Bob, I believe that women, and I don't know this, maybe a woman can tell me, but a woman, will, we know that 80% of marriages are 80% of divorces are initiated by women. And I know people can argue that. I had that argument before, why, but this is one thing that I want you to understand about commitment. Men has instinctively developed like loyalty and honor. You know what I'm saying? Let me put it like this. I believe personally where I believe that God inputted over abundance of that in men. Okay. That's now I can't take you to the Bible and show you, because if I'm talking about it, chances are I got it from the scriptures. Okay. You can look over in the book of Ephesians. But men understand honor. We understand we understand respect. We understand loyalty. We've been doing that ever since we was playing, football on the church ground. Okay, we understand that. So when it comes to commitment, we have a better understanding of what that death do us part really mean. You understand where I'm going with it?
I feel you, bro.
You know,
Preach
we
on.
we we know when it comes to commitment that it's not something that we're just gonna do casually. Okay, when we really commit, I think a lot of problems that women have in relationship is that they are committing they're committing themselves to someone who have yet to be ready, or that's not ready to be committed to. And
Number two.
so they're thinking, okay, well, men have a problem with commitment. No, It was just that you were involved with someone that didn't
Who
commit
wasn't
to
ready.
you, that it wasn't ready to be committed.
He wasn't
So
ready to commit to you.
because
He was never committed to you.
and he was never committed to you, because you can turn around and then you'll say, a woman would say, man, right after we broke up, he got married. So did he have a commitment problem, or was it a you problem?
Nope. It was, and I hate to say it this way, but it's the you problem. He wasn't ready to commit to you. He was committed to the benefit of having you. You were more beneficial to him than he was to you. You were committed to number two that we touched on earlier, the nothing.
Right.
You knew he was nothing, but in your mind, you thought you could change him.
Mm-hmm.
The baby would keep him, and all of these such things. These are the things that people have to touch on. You got to take some kind of you have to take accountability for the things that you did.
Exactly.
The reason why he was committed for her, because the requirement for him to be committed to her was there. Everything that you was not was her, was with her.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
She was quiet. She was quiet. She was feminine.
Mhm.
She was peaceful. She was loving. She was nurturer. She was the nurturer that he needed. So he committed to that.
Mm.
And he wanted that. I don't care what you're saying, but I'm gonna tell you something. Ain't nothing in this world gonna hurt a man worse than his mama or his woman.
Right. Oh boy, come on.
That'll
Come on.
hurt you to the soul now. That'll hurt your soul now. I'm gonna tell you right now. Men carry African American men, brother Eric, is the highest rate when it comes to anxiety and stress. They have the
Understood.
highest rate. They have the highest rate, brother. Men in
Yeah.
general have the highest rate when it comes to
Mhm.
stress and anxiety. Overworked, not being
Right.
appreciated, hated. Look,
Right.
viewed as all of this and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, Lord, if I could just, boy, I wish God would give us the opportunity to pick at birth what we could be, because I probably
Man.
would have took the easier route.
Well, brother, hold that thought, man. We're gonna take about 30 about 45 seconds, man, and do and we'll be right back, okay? Guys, while we on this break, man, y'all make sure that y'all like and share and come into the comments. I'd like to hear what you got to say.
Hi, my name is Eric Kirk. I'm the author of The Power 2, The Power 2 Workbook, and The Power 2 Planner. This is not just a planner, it's a journal and a devotional all in one. The Power 2 Planner is designed to keep you in touch with one another, also to maintain order and stay on task with the vision and the plan that was set for the family. So grab your Power 2 Planner, your Power 2 Workbook, and your partner weekly and refresh and update one another on any plan changes. Whether you're a newly wedded or a seasonally married couple, the Power 2 Planner is an essential tool to help you create oneness, balance, focus, and activate the Power 2 in your relationship.
All right, man. We are back. Just like I promised, man. I got my guy with me, man. Listen, I got the Bobby Harris with me. Man, listen, for those who do not know, man, Bobby is, man, like one of the coldest barbers in the game, and he got the hardware to prove it. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of
Yes,
people
sir.
can
Yes, sir.
talk the game, but my man Bobby has the hardware, man. He got the accolades, he got the trophies, he got all of that, man, that comes along with being Bobby Harris. I am Bobby Harris. I am
Man.
Bobby Harris. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's definitely great to have you on the Power Podcast, man. And we're talking about these things, man, that women get wrong in the relationships, man, and frankly, just because of the way they think, man, they are killing us in relationships. You know what I'm saying? And what we want to do, man, we just want to highlight some of these things, man, where we can at least say, Bobby, if a woman can take, one of these things and say, you know what, man, I never thought about it like that. Maybe my husband, maybe I should give him a break. Maybe my boyfriend is not as bad as I thought he was. It just take a second, and just say, maybe I should look at it a different way. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. But let's we did how how they wrong about how we hate to commit. We just did that before the break. But let's go into guys don't know how to communicate. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that one? I'm
Guys,
laughing.
guys actually articulate and communicate way too well. It's just when you're
Thank you.
communicating from when you're communicating from an emotional standpoint, it's very, very hard to understand or comprehend anything.
That's right.
Ladies, do you not ever realize that when you challenging a man's authority and his power based off feeling and based off logic,
Mm.
that's like that's like one of the number one things that you're doing. One,
Mm-hmm.
I tell women this all the time. You're more manlier than you actually know.
Mm. Help him,
You,
help him,
you're you're
brother.
you're acting more like a dude.
Yeah.
Now I understand we got a difference of opinions and we got different things out here going on right now. But just how it's always been and what it's always going to be. Don't no man want no woman he has to combat. And by
Mm.
us not being able to communicate and tell you what it is, that's how you create number two.
Yeah.
I really not wanting a relationship. Okay, so I'm gonna go on and get in a relationship. He's
Right.
shown you several times through actions, words, and everything, but we don't know how to communicate. We tell you
Right.
what we want directly, but
Because the
most
truth. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
most women will make it and paint the picture to fit the reality that they live in. But a man actually communicates way better than a woman. It's
Yeah.
actually too good to be honest with
Yeah. He really is. I mean, ladies, listen. I believe that the reason why you think that men doesn't communicate well is because you're too busy communicating over what he's communicating, and you haven't took time to just say, you know what, let me hear what he's saying. And I don't even know how to put it, but what I want you to understand is that we may communicate different. Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we don't communicate. And what I would want you to understand, if you don't, if you're watching this and you're watching it with a heart to say, you know what, I want to be a better wife, I want to be a better girlfriend, I want to be a better person. If you really have that heart, what I want you to understand is that, if you can get out of the fact that he communicates, or get out of you're thinking that he don't communicate, and get into the thought of he just communicate different than me. Okay, just different. That's all that's different.
you.
And Bobby, I think that's probably one of the biggest problems that we have in relationships is that, and I did a video on that. I would, and that video was talking about men and women are just created different. That, and when you're dealing with the family unit, what I want people to understand is that different doesn't mean better. Okay,
Right.
different doesn't mean better. God created us different, but He did not create one better than the other. And I'll be the first to say, listen, I read the scripture and I seen when God was creating man, and when God was creating the heavens and the earth and the flowers and the trees and the birds and the bees, and when He was doing all that creating, every time He got done in that day, He finished the day off and said, it was good, it was good, it was good. Then He gets down to man and He creates man and He says it is not good. And He said, listen, in order for man to be the best he can be, in order for man to live out how I designed him, then he's going to need a helper, a help me. and then he created woman. That's how I see it. I see woman is that important to my success. I'll keep it personal, and I'll say, well, it's that important to my success, because when God created me, he said, Eric, in order for you to be the best you can be, I'm gonna have to give you an in-house helper. You know what I'm saying? And man, that's
Right.
a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So so when we're talking about, communicating, man, I think the biggest thing that hinders us is not taking the time and to understand who who we're communicating to and how that person communicates. Because even nonverbal is communicating, and it doesn't mean that it's bad. I did a show, Bobby, and somebody, I was talking about a man going into his cave, and the female that I was talking to said, well, why go in the cave by yourself? And that's disrespectful. You got a whole wife there that you can talk to, but you'd rather go into a cave. See, Bobby, that's one of those things that I say, you know what, we're just different, because see, you want me to handle that situation like you would, but in actuality, I'm gonna handle it a different way. And now you're thinking that I don't value you because I decide to just step away to reevaluate some things. But you're over there, you're ready to divorce me because, man, I'm going through something, and it doesn't mean that I don't want to involve you. I think what men do, and Bob, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I can speak for myself at least to say men would step back and they would come up with a game plan, and then they're gonna
Right.
come back and present that game plan, because Lord knows if we go to our woman and say, I don't know how we're gonna get out of this one. Yeah, it's over with. Now, which one would sound better? Hey, babe, listen, you know what? I've been in my cave for the past day, but that problem we got, this is how we're gonna fix it. Or you want me to run and and say, you know what? I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. All hell broke loose. We're doomed. Come on. It's not
Nail on the
that.
head with that one, bro.
Yeah, we just different. And we do it that way because we do want to present to you, man. I know this is a little different, man, but men know that we're not Superman, but it sure feel good when you call us Superman. Am I right, Bobby?
That's the best feeling in the world.
It's the best feeling in the world.
It ain't nothing like that. Oh, look at my man. He doing his thing, baby. You doing your thing. It ain't nothing like that, man. That's better than sex.
It is better than sex. And I'm gonna tell you, you wonder how women get the attention of your man.
That right there.
Right there.
That
right there.
Hey, baby. Hey, because I'm gonna tell you something. You sitting around here complaining about we don't go nowhere, my hair ain't done, my this and that ain't that, my that. That chick that you least expected is asking him, baby, what you need me to do?
Come on.
She's asking him what do he need from her?
Bobby,
see, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you, brother. The last thing you want in life, ladies, is another master to feed your dog.
Come on.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, dude, have you ever had a man, who woman sent him, to the barbershop, man, she with her money and say, hey, man, take care of my man? You ever had something like that happen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and I asked that question because some women are doing it. You know what I'm saying? Some women, I said, instead of saying, where my money for my hair and my nails and my, some are just saying, hey, go take care of yourself. Now,
here's cheers to a good job, or
right.
I believe in you.
Right. Hey, that's a
That
whole nother podcast, but I definitely wanted to. I knew what it was. I just wanted to hear you say it. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
let's knock this one out, man. Man, man, a woman's looks, a woman look, her physical look is everything. That is
Lies.
one of the biggest lies you can tell when it comes to a man. And once again, Bobby, it is killing relationships. Man, what? Why is that so hard for women to understand? I don't get that one.
Because the celebrities in the limelight of this world that we live in, brother, has gotten them believing that they have to look this way, they have to be this way. Number two is also only attracted to them for that way.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, brother, this number two is a deadly, it's just deadly.
yeah,
A woman looks do really don't matter. You know,
right,
attraction is okay, but I'll be honest with you. If you can give me the peace and the things that I need and the cheering things, and I'm in the beauty world, brother. A good wig, some eyelashes, and some makeup can go a long way.
right.
Just
And
being
and
honest.
and here's the other side to it, because I don't want to anybody to misunderstand this. That woman is attractive to him.
Right.
Okay. You see, so I don't want any woman to think, well, okay, the reason why my man is why we together is because he's more attracted to, my good heart than me. No, that is not what we're saying. No, there's an essence about you. There's something about you to where, he in his mind, you are his power too. You are everything that he needs. I mean, in every category, you are the one. The only thing that we're saying is that, please, all of this body alterations that you're doing, man, that literally means nothing to the average man.
Nope.
Nothing.
Why would you? Why are you altering your body when you ended up with the same dude?
Man, make that make sense. And he met you before you did it. And he
Right.
committed to you before you did it. I don't get that one.
I don't think
I
none of us
don't
will, brother.
I don't get that one out. Man, listen, we come to the end, and I definitely want to get your closing thoughts, but let me see what else we can knock out, man. Um, okay, let's finish this one, and then we're gonna go into our closing thoughts because our time is just about up. Um, Guys, don't listen to criticism. That's one that when I was going through, uh, I'll say mainly my divorce. I really hadn't heard it, no other place, to be honest with you. But so when I was going through my divorce, we was going through, different type counseling or whatever. Really wasn't going through no divorce, just going through a tough time in the marriage. But I kept hearing, well, you don't want criticism. You don't want criticism, and one of the things I couldn't understand is that, me, I have so many mentors. I always had them. I have so many mentors, and some are male and some are female, and I get criticism everywhere. So I never could understand, and I'm like, man, I sit here, I work for this corporation for 25 years, and you seen the criticism that I took, and I took it and kept on going. Why is it that you think that when it comes to you, I understand the importance of criticism? I mean, I never could get that, man. What's your thoughts on that?
I just think that that picture has done been painted because obviously it's something in the back of your mind that's telling you this man don't understand me, this man doesn't communicate well with me, this man won't be this for me. This man is listening to you and listening to you well. and
Mm-hmm.
he's putting a lot of things into action because of the criticism that you gave him. He's willing to bend, mold, and break based off
That's
the
right.
criticism that you gave him.
Right.
But
Oh
again,
man, that's good.
ineff- ineffective listening and emotional hearing. Chris Rock, selective outrage. You're
Yeah.
blind to the fact that your man is taking constructive criticism from you.
Bobby, man, you just gave me an aha moment, man. Listen, I you know what? I'm sorry, man. I need you to say that one more time. And I don't care about this might be the end right here, but I need you to say what you just said one more time, man.
Selective hearing, selective outrage, not paying attention to that he's taking the criticism for you to be better
Mm.
for you. But your selective hearing and your emotional hearing based off the things that you want because you got to have it right then and right there
Mm.
versus allowing this man to be your man.
Wow, that's so
That's a lot of
good.
problem. That's a problem. That's
Brother,
selective outrage and that's selective hearing. Okay. But we don't want to
man.
admit that we got selective hearing. But
Right,
you do.
right.
Because I
Man,
find ladies, I'm gonna say one more thing, brother. I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna
no,
say
you
one more thing.
good.
Ladies, it's real embarrassing to me that you will listen to the pastor, you'll listen to the
Ah,
supervisor, and you'll listen to the best friend, but you will not listen to the man that you made a covenant with, or a man that want commitment from.
man.
You might want to
Come
tighten
on.
up on that.
Yeah. You know what? I told you. I told y'all. I told y'all this was gonna be the broadcast, man. Y'all didn't want to miss. But Bobby, man, you I can't say you promise, but I'm gonna say you promise and you deliver. You know what I'm saying? And reason why I
Brother.
can say you promise is because I know what's in your heart, and you didn't have to articulate it, but I knew that you was gonna come and you was gonna give what we needed, man. And I'm so thankful to share this out with you, man. It, was I mean, I'm smarter now. I'm smarter because of this
Mhm.
broadcast, man, and because you shared some light. I can't wait to review it, and because I couldn't take notes, but I promise you, I'm gonna be taking even more notes, man. So, um, awesome, Bill, brother. Thank you, man. I can't. Yeah, I'm horrible. Bobby, how you pronounce that name? I see
Uh,
Yahoo. Remy.
Remy at Ramy or Yahoo, Ramy Yahoo.
Remy
That's
Yahoo.
what I think of.
And I apologize for butchering your name if we did, but I am horrible when it comes to now. I can't get regular names right, so So anyway, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your love. It's not too late to share this out. Anybody that's gonna that listening and you watching the replay, #replay, so we know that you are watching. Bobby, man, listen, our time is about up, man, and I am going to just let you give 60 seconds, man, of your closing thoughts, man. Let you finish it up.
Just in my honest opinion, based off the conversation that we had last night, I really and wholeheartedly believe that we should practice effective communication and listening to understand versus listening to reply.
Mm,
Because, ladies, your man who you choose is there to guide you, not only just, he's not in a chauvinistic way, mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially. That's the definitive order. We have to take pride back into effectively communicating with each other so we can get back to our once great glory. Because just like it says in the scriptures, Hosea 4 and 6, I would say, my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Before there's lack of knowledge, their once glory will turn into shame.
mm.
We have to get back to being that. We have to get back to understanding that. And our selective hearing and not understanding and not looking at the things that we have experienced and not taking accountability is the very reason why brothers like us are having a conversation like this today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, listen now, Bobby. Man, you got to come back, man.
Man, brother,
You
I ain't
got to
nothing but
come
a phone call away. I ain't nothing but an inbox. Despite the fact that I got back-to-back shows this weekend, and I'm gearing up and getting ready for Bronner Brothers and a host of other
Right.
things. I ain't nothing but an inbox away because I feel like I think my life may be in ministry in another way.
Mm,
But some things we just have to address. And I'm a young bro. I'm only 34. I'm really not that grown.
right.
I'm
But
not that grown yet.
not in
But
age, but in wisdom, man. You
but
right
in
up
with
there.
so
And you
we just gonna have to we just got to get better. And it's power in my position. So somebody got to
absolutely.
speak on it. Somebody got to lead by example.
Absolutely, man. And you take that you take it because what I know about you and what I know about what you do as far as your profession, I believe that it's a perfect setup, man, because you have access to doors, man, that most of us can only wish for, so continue to do your thing, man. I can't I know what you do with them Clippers, man, but I'm waiting to see where God is gonna take you, in the future. I'm gonna be there and I'm going to witness it, man. So
I
guys,
appreciate you, brother.
man, I appreciate you, man. Listen, now, thank you guys for joining the show. Listen, we will be back on the Power Podcast, and we come every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. But also catch me on live with Eric and Soso every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. And guys, we are out.